painting in Philadelphia in 1970s at the Philadelphia College of Art, and then wanted to get away from the city landscape and walked up to the boathouses because I grew up along the boathouse row and my uncles used to row, and I knew there were trees and water and open space, so I went up there to paint, and I've been doing it ever since. Well, just trying to figure out how the trees worked in the landscape, you know, when you're looking at the whole scene. I mean, there can be a lot there, so you kind of have to focus on certain things and figuring out what tree that was. And sycamores along the river, you have to figure out how to do that, so it all becomes necessary to learn. En plein air is a concept French originally, but it's to work outdoors. There was a certain time where most of the work was done indoors because you had to have the paint mixed inside, and then they were able to go outdoors when they had small tubes of paint to work outdoors in the open air, and using the light that is actually in landscape and the trees and the rivers, so that you use the actual color that you were mixing the actual color with that paint on location, and it gave it a daylight look. It sparked everybody's interest because it didn't look like it was done in a studio. Sometimes it chooses me. Sometimes I'm driving along and I look out the window and say, I want to paint that, and I just figure out a way to get there and paint it. But I've taken people over to Ireland to paint. I've taken them to Key West. I've taken them to Bermuda. And so we've been painting all along the East Coast. I did do Bozeman, Montana one time too. Santa Monica is as far west as I've painted. But all around the country I've worked. My favorite subject would be painting along a spot where the land meets the sea, and the openness of that and the freshness of that, plus my ancestors, 1300s, I have written documents saying that they were building boats between Ireland and Scotland, and we have the written text, so I know from where I speak. So that's where I feel like I get that feeling of being along the coast if I can do it. Right now for traveling, I'm working with slow drying acrylic because it does dry in about 2 hours, but it leaves you enough time to work the canvas and blend things in. Most of the time when I'm here in the States, I will work with oil. So it's like the difference between a standard car and a Ferrari. The oil is the Ferrari, let's put it that way. First thing I do is do a walkabout. I have to look around and find out what's here, what the light looks like, what the tree looks like, but what the light looks like on that tree, and figure out what the best time of day sometimes would be to do the painting of that tree. But you really want to get the idea of this is not the same tree as this other tree next to it. You want to look at the differences and see what makes this tree different from the others. It educates people to what's going on with the trees and how much air conditioning just one tree can give you. I mean, it's like there's a lot going on with a tree. I planted trees around my house that I picked up the seeds from Haverford College. So I have a English oak next to my house that's as tall as my house that I planted from acorn. And I have a elm tree that's a descendant of the tree under which William Penn signed the treaty with the natives. So they have that at Haverford College. The seeds were all over the ground. I picked up a few, planted them, and they came up. Well, I guess to see how you can go out in nature and make something tangible and lasting. So something like that.